Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Tuesday morning AMA with Dr. Behnam. I'm Dr. Behnam. I'm the co-founder as well as the chief medical officer of Happy Head. And thank you so much for joining us on Crowdcast as well as on our Instagram channels. If you have guys any questions, please feel free to send us a message. So now today's I'm going to be starting the first topic. Okay, so first of all, the topic of this week is how to basically how do I track my hair growth progress. So it's really, really important that if you're going to be using any hair products, that you have to be able to track it. Tracking is essential. The reason is because we have a lot of patients that come into the office and they say, Doc, I don't see any improvement. And then what I do, I take a photo and compare it to the first photo that I took 6 months ago, and they look so much different. They have so much more hair growth. So the question is, how come they didn't notice it? The reason is because usually patients look at themselves every day, so you don't see the day-to-day changes with the hair growth. So it's important to actually take photos on a monthly basis. And the way we're coming taking photos is try to do the same angle every month. So if you look at basically our a diagram here, basically it's like if you have missing hair on the top, you want to take photos from the top. So you don't want to one day take the same photos from the left and next day take another photo from the right. You want to be in the same lighting, same room, same angle. Everything should really be the same. So that is the most important thing that we have to say today. And that is our AMA topic of the week. So please take photo of yourselves. That's super important. And that's how you're going to be able to track your progress. And I always say it takes about 4 to 6 months for patient to see the improvement. So, don't, please be patient. That's really the most important thing. Okay, everyone, welcome. If you're in the Instagram world, can you please, also send your messages to Instagram? We'll be more than happy to answer them. So here we go. All right, guys, I'm going to start answering the questions. I'm on month 2 of this treatment, and the formula it's starting to burn my scalp when I first applied. I found that my scalp is becoming increasingly itchy. I think I see a difference in new hair growth, and I do not want to stop doing the treatment. What do you recommend? So, the prescription grade Happy Head has 3 ingredients in it. It has finasteride, minoxidil, 8%, along with retinoic acid. And sometimes patients become very sensitive to the minoxidil as well as the retinoic acid. So my recommendation is that if it starts to burn, you could do a couple things. First of all, you could literally wash off the product after an hour or two, and it's still going to be effective. Number two, instead of using it twice a day, you could go down to using it once a day. Also, you could reach out to the help desk and we can remove the retinoic acid as well as reduce the concentration of minoxidil and see if that one helps as well. Especially the fact that you're seeing growth, that is working. It is supposed to tingle and burn a little bit. That's normal, but we don't want it to be, we don't want it to be too painful. Thank you for that question. I'm just finished my first week of once a day application. The serum is making my hair very tacky and hard. By the third day, it's so bad it's hard to brush it. I'm worried that twice the application is going to be worse to deal with since you're supposed to do it twice a day. Which ingredient is causing this? So the tackiness and hardness is the fact that in order to avoid the irritation that the previous patient asked, we add some aloe to it, and it's the aloe that's making it a little bit hard. So one thing, you can wash it out every day. Again, you can wash it out after an hour or two, and that should be fine. Look, if you can't use it twice a day, then using it basically once a day is still fine with me. It might take a little bit longer for you to see the results, but look, if that's what you could tolerate, that's what you could tolerate. Um, Again, if you become very tacky, maybe you want to wash it every day. Just get in the water and basically wash out your hair. We typically don't recommend shampooing every day, but you could get in a shower and just wash it off. That's perfectly fine. Hello, Dr. Ben. Um, Curious about the hydrocortisone and long-term use, although it's over-the-counter percentage. I know it's used to reduce inflammation, but is this something that might be able to be removed from the formula after 1 or 2 months of using it, in hopes for the scalp to adjust to it? I just don't want to be applying hydrocortisone for the rest of my life. That's a great question. Some patients don't want to use hydrocortisone, that's fine. The purpose of hydrocortisone is to reduce the irritation on your scalp, that is correct. And it is over the counter. Um, Similar products have much higher cortisone in it, and basically we don't have that much cortisone in it. So my recommendation would be that if you don't like the cortisone, you're more than welcome, basically, to take the cortisone out of it. Just please email the help desk at help at Happy, and I will be more than happy to take the cortisone out for you. And I see that one of our doctors joined us on Instagram. Hi, Dr. Josh. Thank you so much for joining us. So yeah, so we could more than happy to take the cortisone out. But again, patients have been using this for a long time and no issues, but I understand why you might have some concern about it. Will Happy Head product work for the crown and for the receding hairline? Yes. We have photos on our website where patients were losing their hair in the front and also in the crown, and it helped both the front and the crown. The patients that get the best results are the ones that have some peach fuzz hair. So if you're a patient who have lost a lot of hair and you're basically complete bald, Happy Head will not work for you. But if you still have some hair there, it's probably going to make that hair thicker. So I'm curious, I'm number 3, planning on getting a few transplant within a year. Do you recommend continuing topical treatment after transplant? Yes. We have a lot of patients that do the transplant and afterwards they still continue the topical treatment. Here's the reason why. Number 1, it's going to make your transplant hair grow out faster. Number 2, you're still going to lose more hair surrounding the transplant area. So you don't want to lose that hair. You want to maintain that hair so you don't have to get another transplant soon. So we do recommend using it. My only advice is that don't use Happy Head the day after you get a transplant. Wait about 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, and then you can start using it. And that's a protocol in the office, actually. What do you think about low-level laser therapy as a treatment for androgenic alopecia, especially when delivered through caps that are on the market now? So, there are clinical studies that were done years ago that showed using a low-level light therapy will stimulate hair growth. The caps are definitely better than the handheld devices. I like those. And Yeah, so the caps are definitely better. The only question is it really going to work for all the patients? And the answer is that it's not. So it may work for some patients, it may not work for some other patients. So you have to kind of try it out. In my experience, it's about 50-50. So 50% of the time it may work, 50% of the time it may not work. If you're using in conjunction with the Happiest product, it's most probably going to work better. So based on studies, it could work. If you want to use it, that's fine. There's really no harm to it. But you have to realize that it's really you're taking a 50-50 chance. Look, I have some patients that come back and say, Doc, it's really working great. I have somebody that come back and say, Doc, it doesn't really work at all. So best is for you to try that and see how it does for you. Is the happiest formula for life? Let's say that I hypothetically see hair growth after 1 to 2 years. Is there a way to reduce the amount of drug use and chemicals to maintain after a certain period of time, or transfer to something that's less strong? Just a bit daunting to think about having to use it twice a day for the next 50 years. Yes, I completely understand that question. So typically with any hair products, oral finasteride, topical finasteride, the laser caps. Once you start, you pretty much have to do it forever in order for you to see the improvements. We do have patients at Happy Head that after a while, like being a year or two, they went from twice a day to once a day, or twice a day every other day, and they were able to maintain the results. So that you could certainly do and see how it does. But remember, everyone's different. So some patients may go down to once a day and they do just fine, whereas other patients, they go down to once a day and the hair starts falling out again. So everyone's different and every scenario is different. So you really have to see how you do. You have to try it and see how you do. Is there ever going to be a foam version of the product? Um, Currently, we're working on it. We do not have a workable version out right now that's easily to be mass produced. I know there's some people, a while ago in California, they were getting it, but currently we have stopped that. So nationwide, we don't have a foam version, but we are working on it. I will definitely pass that along to our VP of operations, who is currently working on many different versions as we speak. Foam version is one of them. Will there be a personalized ingredient pill form if you're not experiencing any side effect? No, unfortunately, we do not have that capability at the moment. For right now, no. I have been using ketoconazole a few times a week. Can I continue while using Happy Head? Absolutely. Ketoconazole in clinical studies, it has been shown to actually increase the caliber and the density of the hair. So ketoconazole is great. So I highly do recommend continue using that. That's no problem. Thank you. Do you recommend stopping the minoxidil before transplant? You have to talk to your own doctor about that. But typically, sometimes the minoxidil could be irritating. So about a week or so, we do recommend stopping the minoxidil before a hair transplant, so you don't get like a lot of irritation. Um, Somebody on Instagram asked about the role of dermal rollers. We talked about this about a week ago. Dermal roller is great because it is going to kind of create punctures in the scalp and basically and allow the product to go in deeper. We love dermal rollers. Happy we do have our own dermal roller actually. So typically what I recommend is that apply the Happy Head product and then gently dermal roll it in, go left, right, back and forth, basically to penetrate the product in and stimulate basically more hair, just stimulate your hair. That's really the most important thing. Can you tell us more about the new Happiest shampoo and conditioner? Great question. So this is Happy Head thickening conditioner, and here is the Happy Head basically thickening shampoo. So the Happy Head shampoo, let's talk about a little bit. We really searched a lot of ingredients out there and worked closely with our manufacturer basically to make this. The shampoo was developed by a dermatologist. That's me, Dr. Ben, and we tried to put a lot of anti-DHD blockers in it, including biotin. So this is basically a biotin shampoo. It also has collagen. So I know there's a lot of popularity around the biotin and collagen shampoos. So we have biotin in there and collagen, along with saw palmetto, keratin, and argan oil. And we truly believe that it's a combination of this that it will really allow basically just thickening your hair along with the Happy Head product. And also we have a conditioner as well, and our conditioner is also infused with the same ingredients: argan oil, biotin, keratin, collagen, and saw palmetto. The saw palmetto might give a little tingling, burning on the scalp, which is great. It shouldn't burn, but a little tingling, that's normal. We typically do recommend shampooing every other day, and the conditioner is very important. The reason is because think of a conditioner as your own moisturizer basically for your hair. So when you apply it on, it's just moisturizing all that. It is moisturizing your hair. As a result, it's going to look shinier, just glow. Your hair's going to have a glow to it. So thank you for that question. Okay. Do you have any recommendation for laser cap, and what brand or type? I currently do not have any recommendation. I know there are a lot of handheld devices out there. I do think that the caps are better than the handheld devices. I know that Costco used to sell a brand, but they don't sell it anymore. So unfortunately, I don't have any specific recommendations. I know that Happy Head, we are looking into carrying our own brand of laser cap. We are currently testing the ones and trying to see which one is the best for our clientele. So we'll get back to you when that becomes available. Does Happy Head carry the Ketoconazole shampoo product? Uh, currently we don't, but we are rolling it out. It should be rolled out very soon, so you could definitely order it. We'll send an email out to everyone when the product becomes available. Are there any clinical studies that you mentioned regarding topical finasteride? Oh, absolutely. There are a lot of clinical studies. In fact, our product was based on the clinical studies out there. So initially, what happened was that I was reading a lot of clinical studies regarding topical finasteride, and we started to formulate our formula based upon those clinical studies. You could see those studies on our website. So if you go on happyhead.com, and I think if you scroll all the way down, there's a blog section. And in the blog section, it summarizes the top um, 7 or 8 studies, the pros and cons of each study. So there are a lot of clinical studies out there. Thank you so much for that question. Again, they're all listed on our website. I've summarized it about 2 years ago, exactly 2 years ago, actually. And Emily just posted a link, or Eric, one of just posted like a topical finasteride studies, so you could take a look at those link as well. Thank you for that. Can you explain the kitchen sink formula? So what a kitchen sink is, it's a combination of topical finasteride along with topical dutasteride. We are the only company in the world that actually has that combination, and we think that it could do very well for our patients. I think this was actually based on an Australian study where they were combining the two together, if I recall correctly. We do have patients use it. Patients do say that they love it quite a bit. The benefit, so the way that dutasteride is different from finasteride is that finasteride inhibits only one enzyme called 5-alpha reductase 1, and then dutasteride inhibits 2 enzymes. So when you combine both together, I think patients just get much more robust growth. Thank you so much for that question. Also, there are patients that that also do the topical formula and also do the oral formula as well. So we have patients on topical finasteride and they also go on oral finasteride, and those patients do end up doing better and having better results actually. But again, I just do not recommend starting with both. If you have been using a topical product for a while, you could certainly ask help, and they will be able to assist you with getting the oral product as well, as long as you're not having any side effects from it. Does the dutasteride formula include minoxidil? Yes, it includes minoxidil 8%, dutasteride, along with retinoic acid and hydrocortisone. Remember, Happy Head is a customized product just for you. So if there's an ingredient that you do not like in there, we will be more than happy to remove that ingredient for you. Just please reach out to our help desk and we'll be more happy to do it. Thank you for that question. If you're experiencing side effects such as itchiness, scalp irritation, what would be better to reduce? Use the 1 ml once a day, or something like the 0.5 ml twice a day. So good question. So I'm going to recap that question. If you're having side effects from the topical, is it better to do the product just once a day or use a lower concentration and do it twice a day? That's a great question, and I think everyone's different. The reason the answer, it comes from the fact is what's really causing the irritation. Is it the minoxidil or is it the vehicle that has a little bit of alcohol in it? If it's the vehicle that has a little bit of alcohol in it, then applying it twice a day may not help you that much. But if it's the minoxidil concentration, then applying it once a day will be better. So my recommendation actually is to do 1 ml once a day to reduce the irritation. Yeah, that's what I would do. 1 ml once a day. Is minoxidil 8% okay for women? A great question. So usually we have the minoxidil 6% for females. The reason is because if you get the minoxidil on your face, then it's going to cause pitch fuzz hair growth. That being said, we have a lot of females that use the 8%, and they say they get better results. You just have to be forewarned that if you use the 8%, you might just have pitch fuzz growth. I have some patients in my clinic that were prescribed, not by me, but by other doctors, Minoxidil 15%. 15%. And females use it. Now, they also have peach fuzz hair growth, and they say basically they just use this tiny razor and basically shave it off. But yes, it's it's whatever you wish, as long as you understand that you could get some irritation. So, dutasteride will have better results if it inhibits two enzymes. Yes, in clinical studies, they're comparing oral dutasteride to oral finasteride. Dutasteride had a better improvement compared to finasteride, just because it inhibits two enzymes as opposed to one. That is correct. Would the oral treatment be more likely to cause peach fuzz? Uh, so, well, the product currently has finasteride and minoxidil in it. And both oral minoxidil and oral finasteride do exist. Oral finasteride does not cause peach fuzz, on your face. That's what I'm assuming what the question is. Oral minoxidil has been shown at higher doses to cause hair growth everywhere. So, it's not necessarily peach fuzz on the face, but you could kind of get like a hairier body. And that's a little bit of a higher doses of the oral minoxidil. I'm using an additional topical product that contains biotin, cypric, triglyceride, caffeine, and other oils. My scalp is discolored with redness. I was recently on spring break in Puerto Rico. Oh, well, I hope you had fun. And got sun on my face, which caused my scalp to be lighter than my face. Is the additional product or sun the cause of redness and discoloration? Well, it's hard to say. So let's recap this question. Basically, you basically just got some irritation when you were out in the sun. So we know that our product has retinoic acid in it, and retinoic acid basically will make you a little bit sun sensitive. So if you know you're going to be out in the sun, we highly recommend that you wear sunscreen. Um, if you're bald, or just wear a hat. We definitely do have some patients that are pilots, and they just don't want the retinoic acid in the product, so we took it out for them. So if you feel you're going to be out of spring break and you're going to be out in the sun, either just stop using the product for a couple of days. That's really the most important thing. Or you can always let us know, and we will take the retinoic acid out for you. That's a great question. Thank you so much. Again, I hope you enjoyed your vacation in Puerto Rico. If you're number 2 or 3, should you be applying happy only to near the front temples and front of the hair, or should also be applying further back on the head where you still have good hair? That's a great question, and people do both. So obviously you want to for sure focus on the areas where you're thinning. So that's number 1. And what I would do then, number 2, then would basically take the rest of your hand and just rub it throughout the entire scalp. But the focus should be in areas where you're thinning. What is the incidence of sexual side effects with 1, oral finasteride versus oral dutasteride, 2, topical finasteride versus topical dutasteride? Great question. I'm not necessarily going to be able to answer everything, but I'll try my best. So with oral finasteride, the risk of sexual side effects is about 2 to 4%. In the clinical studies with oral dutasteride, when the finasteride was compared to oral dutasteride, there was no actually, I don't think there's any study that actually evaluates specifically the sexual side of incidence of oral dutasteride. I've yet to see that study yet. But in the studies comparing finasteride to dutasteride orally, they've always mentioned that the side effects profile were about the same. So we're still assuming it's 2 to 4% with oral dutasteride. With respect to topical finasteride, so topical finasteride compared to oral finasteride, the studies have shown that topical finasteride has just a lower risk of sexual side effects. I mean, majority of studies show that there's no side effects. A couple of studies that show that there were some side effects. I think we did a recap last year of the top 7 studies out there, and in all 7 studies there were, I think, 263 patients enrolled in all those studies, and I think there was only 1 or 2 patients that had sexual side effects. So the risk is certainly lower according to those clinical studies of topical finasteride. There is no study on the sexual side effects of topical dutasteride. So in essence, the summary is that topical finasteride in clinical studies has been shown to have a lower risk of sexual side effects than oral finasteride. And that's why we made Happy to begin with. And also, in my own personal clinic, we had a lot of patients that had sexual side effects on oral finasteride. Then we put them on topical finasteride, and they did not have side effects. Now, it doesn't mean that's always going to be the case, but I have a lot of patients that did better on the topical compared to the oral. Can I use Happy to thicken hair only if you just have naturally thin hair but not losing the hair? Yes, it's possible they could thicken those hairs. Yes. Again, everyone's different, results varies, but yes, you could use it to see if you could thicken the hair. I seem to run out of the product before the 30 days. Can I get 2 per month? Yes, you could get 2 per month. Please reach out to help@happyhead, and we'll be more than happy to basically arrange that for you. Also, we just posted the price where you could buy 3 topical finasteride at a time, and it's also going to be cheaper as well. So, yes, so please reach out to Happy, and we can arrange that. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna go through our, and also I just want to kind of go over that pricing structure one more time. So if you buy 3 topical finasteride, it's $199 as opposed to $237. You can also buy a 6-month supply, and you really save quite a bit. So it's $389 as opposed to $474. Do you use topical Litanoprost? So we are currently working on it. Eric, our VP of operations, is currently trying to come out with a new version as we speak. That product is very, very expensive. But yes, we are coming out with a version. So basically, this used to be Latisse, what people use for their eyelash growth. And in some clinical studies, it's been shown to cause hair growth as well. Again, the key is you really want to have it combined with other products like finasteride and Minoxidil. That's what's going to give you the best results. So it's currently in the works, and we should come out with it hopefully soon. Thank you for that question. Now I'm going to go to our Instagram and see if anyone has asked us anything regarding hair loss on our Instagram page. What about eyelash serum? Great question. We currently do not have an eyelash serum. Again, we're working on it. We are coming out with an eyebrow serum as well as a beard serum. So those should be released real soon. We're very proud of our eyebrow serum. I think it's going to be a game changer. And again, I know I have thick eyebrows. I don't use it, but we have had many patients in our clinic use it, and they say that it really helps to thicken up the hair. Somebody from Instagram said that I've been using the product for 4 months and I'm seeing great results. Thank you so much. I'm happy to hear that. However, do I need to use the product twice a day every day? The answer is typically yes. For you to maintain the results, you do have to basically use the product. Use the product basically twice a day. Some people basically go down to once a day, and sometimes that does maintain the results. But remember, everyone's different. I think a lot of the patients that I speak to is that they've learned so much and they have gained so much hair that they just don't want to lose that hair. So they keep using it twice a day, and which is fine. And they're happy with it, and that's fine with us as well. How effective is Litanoprost in growing hair? Is it mostly new growth or mostly thickening of existing hair? So that's a very good question. So, the studies kind of vary. So I'm going to go back. So Litanoprost was actually made by a company called Allergan. It's a company that makes Botox. And they were the one that came out with their product called Latisse for eyelash growth. The company Allergan did do a study for hair loss. And they concluded that they did not see very good hair growth with the Latisse product on the scalp. They didn't. So the question is, why do a lot of doctors still use it? I mean, look, it could help a little bit, but I don't think alone by itself is a game changer. There are two problems. One, again, it's not 100% certain that you're going to get hair growth with it. And number two, it's a very, very, very expensive ingredient. Um, I think an ounce is like $5,000. So that's why a lot of products don't have it in there. Again, we are coming out with our own version of it. We do not know the price range of it yet. It is going to be combined with finasteride and minoxidil, so you still get basically the combination. And we'll definitely have it posted up on our website once it's ready. If we use the product once a day at night, can we have the subscription every 50 days instead of 25 days? Yes. Please just email support and they'll be more than happy to adjust that for you. Again, we are here to help you guys out. This is a customized product just for you. So we could take whatever ingredients they don't want out of it. And also, we can, change the subscription durations. So we're really here to take care of you guys. So whatever you guys have any questions, just let us know. Email us at help@happyhead.com. Can I take oral finasteride with this? Yes. You could use the topical Happy Head along with oral finasteride. My recommendation is that do not start both simultaneously together. So I would probably start with the topical Happy Head first and let your body get used to it. And then after that, you could add on the oral finasteride about 2 to 3 months later, as long as you don't have any side effects. And when you do add the oral finasteride, my recommendation is to titrate up slowly. That means ease into it. So by that, what I mean is that don't start taking one tablet every day. So week 1, take one tablet. Week 2, do it Monday and Friday. Week 3, do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you're going up slowly. What if you're already taking the oral medication for finasteride? That's fine. Then if you're already taking it and you don't have any side effects, you can certainly add the topical Happy finasteride to it. Most patients that do both together actually end up seeing better results. Again, it's not for everyone, and not everyone wants to do both together. So everyone's scenario is different. I've been using the product for 2.5 months, and I've been seeing considerable growth in the back and frontal areas. That's great. Thank you, your brother and your staff. I just want to thank you, your brother and your staff of Happy It. Personalizing each order makes you feel like your team really cares. We really do care. Creating a formula that helps people with their health is awesome. May God bless you and your staff. Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Well, yes, we really, our goal is basically to make this product just for you. I mean, when we started Happy Head, about 2 years ago, our idea was twofold. One, to make a product that's topical and not oral, because oral typically tends to have more side effects, and not everybody they want to ingest something. And number two, to really create a company that's catered around our patients and to really make a customized product just for you guys. So, we are here to support your hair growth at every step and any way we can. Like, for example, we get a lot of questions about, the topical hair laser cap. And honestly, we're doing a lot of research to really find the best one that's just for you. We just don't want to come up with a product that's, we don't want to come up with a product that we're just going to sell. We want to come with a product that's amazing, that's really going to help you with the health hair journey. And that is the goal of Happy Head. Does the product have any properties other than the clinical thickening? I don't understand exactly what that means, but the topical Happy Head does two things. One, it could reduce basically the shedding, and it could also reverse the miniaturization of your hair follicles and basically cause the hair to get thickened as well as basically to grow out. So hopefully I answer your question. If not, please send me another question. And by the way, everyone, we really do appreciate, the best compliment for us. It's really if you refer someone else. So we do have a referral page. It's happyhead.com/refer. And I think your friend gets $50, and also you get $50 off when you refer. And we want to spread the good word about Happy Head and about our company and how hard everyone works here. So if you could please write us a review on Trustpilot, and we have posted our link right there. Just take a minute and review us. We really would appreciate basically all the things that you guys do for us. So I think that is it. So again, I just want to let you guys know that again, if you guys have not signed up basically for Happy Ed, please do. You could use our code Dr. Ben. AMA 50. Basically, you get a coupon for your first order. And also the way it works is that since a doctor has to look basically and examine you, the way it works is that you have to answer a very simple questionnaire, and you do have to upload your photos as well as your driver license, because that's legally we have to have that. And once that happens, basically our doctors in your state basically will review your product, and then if you're a good fit for the product, we'll be more than happy basically to write a prescription for you, and the product will get shipped to you right away. Again, some people are afraid that if they're not a good fit, what happens? That's okay. We'll just cancel the order and we'll refund your money if not a good fit. So you have nothing to lose. Just submit your questions and your photos, and we'll figure out if you're a good fit for not or not for the product. Your hair looks healthy and good. Do you use Happy Head, or you just come from a line of good hair? Actually, that's a great question. So I will tell you about my own hair journey. So years ago, actually, I was losing a lot of hair, and I did go on oral finasteride. This is before the topical finasteride existed, and I didn't really have much side effects, but I didn't really was not too excited about taking something orally. So I stopped. But then when we came with a Happy Head product, this is almost many years ago. But the product actually exists in our clinic before it became known as Happy Head. So we've had the product for about 5 years now in our clinic. And I used it for a good a year and a half, 2 years, maybe 2.5 years actually, on my hair all the time. Then my wife got pregnant, and then we couldn't use it anymore. So, and my wife had two continuous pregnancies. So I've been off of it now for almost about 3 years because because she was pregnant and breastfeeding. So, but yeah, so I was lucky enough, I was on oral and then I was topical, but again, I just can't use it because of family circumstances. And also I think we come from good hair gene, but trust me, I went through a time when basically I was basically just brushing my hair and so many of my hair was coming out. It was mainly due to the kid when we had our firstborn too. But again, now I've used it for a while. My hair is good. I'm about to restart it again because I feel I'm thinning out a little bit at the edges. So we just stopped breastfeeding, so I'm about to start the Happy Head again. Can you use topical finasteride while your partner is pregnant? That's a great question. The answer is no. And that was one of the reasons why I stopped using our own Happy Head product, because my wife got pregnant. So if you guys are actively trying to get pregnant, or if your wife is pregnant or breastfeeding, we do not recommend using the Happy Head product. That's a great question. Thank you so much for that question. Yeah, so please do not use Happy Head if anyone basically, if anyone is pregnant, your wife is pregnant, just don't do it. Trying to see if we have any other questions on our Instagram.
All Happy Head or just finasteride or minoxidil?
That's a good question. So it's typically you cannot use the finasteride and the retinoic acid if your wife is pregnant. The minoxidil, as long as she's not using it, is more permissible. But usually, again, we are very how do we say it? We're always worried about our patients. So our recommendation is that even during pregnancy, honestly, I would try to avoid the minoxidil if you can. How long before trying to get pregnant should we stop taking the finasteride? I would say about 2 to 3 months. 3 months prior to that, just stop. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us again for another AMA. Again, thank you so much to Eric, VP of Operations, Evelyn, who basically types everything up and basically coordinates everything on the screen. If there's any other questions, please feel free to get back to us at help@happyhead.com. You can also get on our website, and you can also call us as well. Our phone number, or text us. Our phone number and text is written basically right here. We'll see you guys next week with another AMA with Dr. Ben. Have a beautiful day. Thank you, everyone.